The craziest thing I did, I'll tell you this story and then I'll get out of here. But the craziest thing I did was I once went to a sex party, right? Thank you, one person who probably expecting an orgy after this, considering the decor. She's like, that's what we're here for. Well, I sort of went accidentally. I didn't mean to, I'll explain. I bumped into a friend. Well, not really like a friend, someone I used to date. It's more like an enemy. I bumped into her randomly. And I was catching up with her. I was like, oh, what are you up to this weekend? Thinking she'd say the pub. And she was like, I'm going to a sex party, actually. You can come if you want to. I'll send you the link. I thought, a link? To a sex party? I thought it'd be like some Squid Game shit, like tap on the tube or something like that. You have to play something. A link? What is this? Sex party on Eventbrite? I'm just turning up there with my Groupon QR code, like... Yeah, and I want the complimentary lube as well, please. There's 6 of us, 6. Sex party was just there for me if I wanted it. When I was a teenage boy, I was telling all the other boys on the playground, I have a sex party every night. I had a sex party between geography and history. I must, But now I was actually confronted with my first ever sex party. I was very nervous. I was apprehensive for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think I'm particularly interesting in bed, right? Everyone's got their kinks now, Everyone's like, what's your thing, Ali? Sex, mainly. That's... My friend, he was showing me his app, right? And he'd matched a guy who his thing was he wanted to be wrapped in cling film and slapped. Now, I don't want to kink shame anyone, right? But how do you work that out? Like, what is he doing? Making a sandwich for lunch one day, wraps it in cling film, gives it a little pat, he's coming, he's like, oh my God, this is it! Tries it with tinfoil the next day, nothing, must be cling film. So that was the first reason. Second reason why I was apprehensive about going to sex party is because my penis is fine. It's fine, yeah. No one's ever seen it and gone, whoa, it's just fine. And that's fine, isn't it? But of course the big swinging dicks would go to the sex party. Why wouldn't you? The big swinging dicks, everyone grab on, let's go together, But I thought, fuck it, let's go. Why not? You only live once, let's do it, right? So I clicked on the link, went to the page, I got tickets, and the theme of the sex party had a theme. The theme was sin. And it said, we want you to be your most authentic selves. That means no t-shirts, no jeans. I thought, that is my authentic self. I've never been walking down the street and be like, oh, I could really relax if I was in hot pants and a harness. So I had to go get an outfit for this sex party, right? Because I was worried about not getting let in, right? I didn't want to get bounced from the sex party. What do you do after you get bounced from a sex party? Go to Wetherspoons in your gimp mask. Yeah, I'll have a Doom bar, please, mate. Cheers. So I only had a day or so I went to the sex shops in Soho, just around the corner from here, right? And I went in, I was super nervous, right? And I was like, fuck it, I'll just go talk to the guy here. So I went up to him, I was like, excuse me, mate. I'm going to my first sex party tonight, and the theme is sin. Do you have anything that might be considered sinful? And he was lovely. He was so nice. He was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Live your best life. I wish I was coming. I was like, I'll send you the link, man. He went, so we'll start over here, right? This is where you might want to start. So we've got bondage string. I thought, I'll get the bondage string because that could be used at a later date, right? To like tie up a roast ham or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's always good to have some string. So that was for me, but it was sort of also for the house. And then he went, we've got collars. I thought, I'll get a collar, because that's hardcore. They won't reject me if I have a collar. I got the cheapest collar they had. 45 quid! I didn't realise how expensive all this stuff was. I should have gone Pets at Home. That would have been the real sin. What's your name? Lucky. Oh my God. So expensive with stuff. You ever looked at a wall full of anal beads, whips, chains, and thought, God, I've not even got the budget to be sexually interesting. Jesus Christ. Next time I see someone in lingerie, I'll be like, what are you doing? We could have booked flights to Dublin. So I had my bondage string and I had my collar. And I don't know why at this point I was improvising. I just thought, you know what's going to complete this look? A mesh top. So I went to him like, you got any mesh tops? He went, we don't have any here, but you might want to try our sister store down the road. They've got a bit more going on over there. I thought, Jesus Christ. If this is basics, who knows what's going on at Taste the Difference? So I went to the second sex shop, right? But now I'm a bit more confident, right? So I walk up to the guy like, excuse me, mate, have you got any mesh tops? He was like, no, have you tried Zara? I was like, fuck you, man. I've got a collar and bondage string. I'm kinky, don't send me to the high street. Shamed in a sex shop. So I didn't get my mesh top right. So I went back to my flat and had like a little pre-drinks with my enemy. And we decided as a team that the best look for me from what we had was going to be suit trousers, braces, no top. Looking back, looked quite clownish. I also had a Venetian mask that I didn't realise I had. That I found out that my mum had got me when I was 14 on a trip to Venice. I don't think that's what she bought it for. I don't think she was there going, well, you never know, Ali, you might want to be fucked by 4 strangers on a night. She's Scottish, right? So I was all right in my gear. We took a cab down to the sex party, got out. I was still nervous about not getting let in. But then when I got there, I sort of chilled out a bit because a lot of the other people were dressed like me. There was a lot of clowns, you know what I mean? They all got out of the same car. So I got into the queue, and now I was interested. I'm like, who goes to a sex party? I'm trying to like meet people, make some small talk and stuff like that. A load of people just pushed in front of us. Oh, that's so rude for a sex. You might want to get tossed off in here. Have some grace. But then, I don't know, maybe that's their thing. They're like dominant queuers. And there's submissive queuers there going, oh my God, this is the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life. They just had no respect for the queuing etiquette. What a British fetish that is. Oh my God, some queue jumpers. Someone pushed in front of me at the queue at home base. I had to wank myself off by some compost. Someone like, yeah, fucking yeah. So I got into the sex party, right? And look, I'm not going to enter all the sordid detail. Point is, I had a great time. I enjoyed myself. I will say I was on quite a lot of MDMA. I don't do drugs often. I don't do this drug often. I've done it occasionally. And I'll say to anyone doing drugs, everything in moderation, right? And only take MDMA if you definitely want to have a good night. But the way this drug works, if you've never taken it, is your serotonin goes way up and your libido goes way down. So I wasn't interested in having sex with anyone. I was just running around the party making friends. I was just like, this is my first sex party. I do videos on Instagram. You should show me out. What's your name? Where have you come from? How are you here? Oh my God. There are people whipping each other, being like, God, that guy's a bit full on, isn't he? Jesus. Guy wrapped in cling film called me a weirdo. It was a strange night. Didn't have sex at the sex party. I was there for 6 hours.